They called him the quiet Trump, the one who never tweeted, never gave interviews, never showed signs of craving attention. In a family known for making noise, Barron Trump was the one who said the least and yet, somehow, made the biggest impact. For years, the youngest son of former President Donald Trump stayed mostly out of sight, his tall frame and composed demeanor appearing only occasionally in photos at family events. But while the world looked away, Barron was paying attention. He was watching his father run companies, battle the media, and dominate politics. He saw how powerful a name could be and how dangerous. And at some point, in the silence of observation, he began cracking his own path, one that would shock not just the world, but his father himself. It started small. Barron had always shown an early interest in technology, gaming, and design. While his father built hotels and golf resorts, Barron was experimenting with 3D modeling software and blockchain coding. His friends, a small but loyal circle, said he was never interested in being famous, wanted to be effective. He would spend hours reading about modern startups, disruptive marketing, and social currency. He knew the value of attention, one former classmate revealed, but he never wanted it for himself. He wanted to channel it into something bigger. When Barron turned 17, he began quietly building a digital brand, not under his name, not under the Trump brand, but under a simple, cryptic logo, BTX. It started as a whisper on certain internet forums, a new clothing line, with futuristic designs, mysterious messages, and elite influencers subtly wearing pieces with no explanation. Every thread was sewn with symbolism. Every drop was limited. The exclusivity created demand, and the mystery created hype. No one knew who was behind it. All they knew was that BTX pieces sold out within minutes, and celebrities were suddenly wearing them at red carpet events. Behind the scenes, Barron had leveraged something very few people could, his father's name not loudly, but surgically. Through a network of private contacts, he ensured that whispers would circulate that the son of a global political titan might be behind this brand, but he never confirmed it. He let the internet do what it does best, speculate, and the speculation was priceless. When a leaked email hinted at Trump family involvement, BTX exploded. Sales tripled overnight. A mystery billionaire from Saudi Arabia offered $3 million to invest, simply to be part of the legend. Tech platforms began calling him the ghost of Gen Z branding. But still, no face, no interviews, no confirmation, just the logo, and behind it, all Barron. When the truth finally came out, it wasn't through a press conference or a flashy reveal. It was through a carefully planned leak to the Wall Street Journal, who published the headline, "Trump's youngest son, behind viral $40 million streetwear empire." The article went viral within hours. Twitter erupted. Pundits were stunned. This was not the story anyone expected from Barron Trump. "I didn't even know he was interested in fashion," one political analyst remarked. But it wasn't fashion. It was narrative, and Barron had mastered it. The $40 million valuation wasn't just hype. Within the first year, BTX had sold out 6 product launches, each one crafted around a theme of legacy, silence, and modern rebellion. And while the money flowed in, Barron was already thinking ahead. He didn't want to be just another rich kid with a popular brand. He wanted to do something different, and that's when things took a turn no one saw coming. Instead of pouring the profits into yachts or mansions or flashy cars, Barron started writing checks, big ones. His first major expenditure shocked even his closest advisors, a $5 million donation to fund a nationwide mental health campaign for teens. The initiative included wellness centers in urban areas, free therapy sessions, school programs, and digital detox retreats. When asked why, Barron's written statement simply said, "If I've learned anything growing up with the world watching, is that silence isn't the absence of pain. It's often the mask we wear to survive it. I want to help kids take off the mask." The Trump family had never been associated with causes like this before, and the public was stunned. Donald Trump himself reportedly asked Melania, where did he even come up with this idea? Melania, in her typical composed style, replied, "He's been thinking about these things for a long time. You just didn't see it." Even political rivals began to take notice. While Donald Trump remained the face of fiery speeches and political rallies, Barron was slowly building a reputation as the thoughtful, impact-driven visionary of the next generation. But Barron wasn't finished. His next move was equally unexpected. He launched the BTX Scholar Network, a nonprofit initiative aimed at funding the education of underprivileged youth with a passion for innovation. Over 150 students across 10 states received full-ride scholarships to study in the fields of artificial intelligence, sustainable tech, and media production. But Barron didn't just send money. He participated. He hosted monthly video calls, mentored teens one-on-one, and even flew in quietly to visit a few schools. He did it all without media attention. He just wanted to help, said one principal from Detroit. He wasn't trying to look good. He was just trying to do good. At one school, a student asked him how he convinced people to trust him. Barron's answer was short but powerful. I didn't. I listened first. Then I moved. That quote ended up framed in the school hallway, and the student who asked the question now works at a tech firm Barron helped fund. By the time Barron turned 19, he had reinvested more than half of his BTX earnings into causes that aligned with mental wellness, youth empowerment, and ethical tech development. He was invited to speak at conferences not because of his last name, but because of his impact. And yet, he still declined nearly every appearance. He preferred to work quietly, with purpose. Noise fades. He once wrote in a rare blog post, "Structure stays." Donald Trump, known for his bold personality and media dominance, was said to be both shocked and proud of Barron's journey. Insiders claim that during a family dinner, Trump looked at his son and said, "I made towers. You're building something invisible, but somehow stronger." It was one of the few times he had openly praised someone without a camera rolling. Those present said Barron smiled, nodded, and went back to eating without a word. Perhaps the most remarkable moment came during Barron's acquisition of a failing startup focused on fighting cyberbullying. The company had been on the brink of collapse, but Barron saw something in its mission. He bought it outright, rebranded it as CleanSpace, and transformed it into an open-source platform offering schools tools to combat online harassment. The platform quickly became popular among educators, with over 300 schools adopting it within 6 months. When journalists asked about it, Barron simply replied through a representative, "Tech should protect, not poison." This pattern continued. Quiet moves, deep impact, minimal attention, and all of it fueled by money. He had made leveraging a name most people thought he was hiding from. But that's the genius of "I've never rejected the Trump name." He reimagined it. He showed the world that the same legacy that had built skyscrapers could also build safe spaces. That a name known for business and politics could also stand for healing and innovation. By the end of his second year in business, BTX had surpassed $40 million in valuation. But Barron's net worth was not what people focused on anymore. It was his influence. Quiet, strategic, compassionate, and as one journalist put it, in a family full of thunder, Barron became the lightning you didn't see coming. Melania, who had always been protective of Barron's privacy, finally made a rare public statement. "My son is not trying to impress the world. He's trying to improve it, and I believe he will." Donald Trump, in his own way, acknowledged the shift too. At a rally, someone shouted, "What about Barron?" Trump paused, smiled, and said, "He's not into speeches. He's into solutions." And that's what made Barron's story so powerful. Not just the money, not just the brand, but the how and the why. He took the attention people gave him because of his last name, and he used it to quietly build bridges, not walls, to invest in futures, not just fortunes. And in doing so, he reminded the world that even in the shadows of giants, a new kind of legacy can begin. One that doesn't roar, it resonates.